Hey music fans, as a roadie I had this great opportunity to tour with all these bands. I wrote a book about my experiences on the road and it was the #1 new release on Amazon and Bios and it's now sold millions of copies on Kindle. I'm Joel Roadie and this is my podcast, Party Like a Rock Star. REN. Have we heard of REN? He's out of the UK.
I feel like I have. Is it REN?
It is, yes.
Yeah, I feel like I have, but I can't place it, but I feel like I've heard something about them. Yeah.
Jim Runge is my next guest on my Rock Gods and Road Dogs segments. Jim is definitely a road dog. He's a tour manager. He's also worked a little bit as a lighting designer, production designer, but mostly as a tour manager. Some of the acts he's worked for are Demi, Lovato, LL Cool J, Seven Lions, Paula Cole, Dar Williams, Sun Volt, Mark Lanegan, Clairo, Alice in Chains, Ricki Lee Jones, Machine Head, Stacy, Orrico, Eels. I actually had E from the Eels on the channel. It was an awesome interview. It was one of my favorites. You guys should check it out. Lucinda Williams, Suzanne, Vega, Ketchum, Usher, Afghan, Whigs, Dr. John, Dan Auerbach, The Replacements, Imagine Dragons, Empire of the Sun, Major, Lazer, The Black Keys, Jeff Tweedy, Santigold, Alejandro, Escovedo, Bebel, Gilberto, Jimmie, Dale, Gilmore, and Ryan Adams, to name a few. He really is a good guy. He's battling Parkinson's right now. Tough stuff for sure. What he's done, because he's such an awesome person, is he's tried to take a very big negative and turn it into a somewhat of a positive by starting his own YouTube channel. You guys can follow him if you want to and listen to his struggles with Parkinson's, but also some of his stories about the road. And you too might become a big fan, like all of us on the road are, of Mr. Jim Runge. Anyway, here's a link to that channel. Go check it out. See what you think of him. And enjoy. Also want to throw a shout out, a true thank you, to the people here who always send me goodies. TokyoTreat.com is where you can find them. This time we got yummy Kit Kats and various other treats and stuff. So thank you guys. I really do like when they send me stuff. I love all this stuff, so it's cool. Guys, let's jump into this next episode here and see what Jim Runge thinks. Let's give it a go. Okay, so this is REN. REN's out of the UK, and he recently had the #1 album in the UK based off of YouTube. So it's amazing what's happened to the industry and how people really have a different avenue now of finding a voice to the masses. And I think people like me and a lot of his fan base, they like that he can kind of do his own thing. He don't care about the radio. Doesn't matter. And I think that's pretty neat. I think it's a cool thing.
Yeah, Clairo, who I worked for, is similar. She was a YouTube sensation. Yeah.
Okay, neat. I'll have to check her out. I don't know her, so I'll give it a go. But let's jump into REN for now. The track I selected is called Money Game, Part 3. There is a Part 1, there is a Part 2. They're worth watching. Part 3 came out recently, though. I just think this video is so unique, so interesting, so well done, so well shot, so well performed. And I think it's a fun way to end all of this. So you can let me know if you agree. Okay.
tell you a story about a boy named Jimmie. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket. $35, he gets a call. I'm sorry son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmie. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmie followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him. And it's a version of she. And it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Cut the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy. Community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution? Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive with parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface then consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmie comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
So very different than everything we've watched thus far, but what do you think?
My favorite by far of all the ones. Like reminds me, I don't know if you know the Streets, but it reminds me of the Streets, which is like a UK rap act from the 90s that had a very similar rhyming style that I loved. Yeah, that definitely
So
was.
he did. He bussed on the street he worked his ass off to get where he got, but he was a busker.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, amazing.
I think so too. I think he's so intelligent and they're so unique and just against the grain. It's
Yeah,
cool.
no, it's great. Yeah. It definitely reminds me of this of the Streets, like this similar rhyming style and well the English accent, which just makes it something different, makes that rhyming something different in my mind anyways.
Cool. So we watched so many videos here, and most of the people performing, they're young, man. They're really young, including Ren. And so I think Ren's about 30, I think, actually. But anyway, whatever. They're young. And I don't remember when I had you on with Chad Olick, if I asked you already. I may have not. But I have a friend, or most of my friends have little kids. And so my friend's daughter was in 5th grade, and she said, I should ask every guest when they first felt famous. Now, bear in mind, this is coming from a 5th grade.
Yeah.
So I expanded a bit into when was there a moment in your life that opened the door? It could just be fame, it could be, but something that was this little bit, this kernel of time that made you feel good about the career you chose, or whatever it might be. What would you pick? What would your day be?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever felt famous, but I know what you mean. I think knowing that like in your eyes you made it, or it was definitely when my hometown paper where I was a kind of growing up in a small town, I was the odd man out and the oddball and the rebel, and to have my hometown newspaper do a cover story of the entertainment section with picture like a 3-page, 4-page layout with pictures like that, I think was like the kind of like showing my kids I went to school with and all that, going like, showing that I this with the same passion that I had growing up for music that had carried through and made a career out of it.
Cool.
I'd say that would be that moment.
I like it. It's great. All right. Well, I played you a lot of videos of all of the performers who I think you liked almost every one of them.
I liked them all. I thought the first one was a little weird, but
Okay,
I liked them all. Yeah,
that was Nightwish. So who
yeah, yeah.
who would you select out of all of them? If there could be one more video, well, it's a little aggressive. The next video that you would want to listen to, or the next song, or the next act, who would be the one you would pick first? What's the first that comes to mind?
Well, Ren is somebody that I'm going to look out on my own, and I think that I'm going to do. And I think the one that I would do most is the Japanese the three piece, the older guys.
Oh, Ninganisu.
Ingenisu, I think that's the one I'd want to that even though I loved Ren, and Ren's probably my favorite, like that's the one I think that I would want to hear again the most.
Well, I love it, man. All right, wonderful. Well, I do absolutely appreciate your time, and it's good to touch
Absolutely.
base with you again. And I'm super stoked about your channel, and you're doing good with it, man. You guys are rocking and rolling. So,
We're just starting figuring it out, but we're slowly making it work. So yeah.
well, I'm loving it. So I appreciate you doing what you do. I have for a long time, but you're always evolving, you're always changing, and you're badass, dude. So
Yeah, and
thank
I
you.
love this concept too, what you're doing. This is great. This is a lot of fun.
Bit of fun, right? Bit of fun. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Good talking to you.
Hey, the podcast is over. What are you still doing here? Well, while you're here, like and subscribe. Thanks.